The machines ran 24 hours, 7 days, no breaks, no complaints, no one inside. And Thomas Mercer watched from his office window, smiling. He had done it, eliminated the problem, removed the inefficiency, replaced the unpredictable with the perfect. But perfection has a cost nobody calculates. Mercer Manufacturing, founded in 1962, 3 generations of hands. Thomas was the third. His grandfather built it. His father grew it. Thomas wanted to perfect it. He was 46. Sharp mind, cold eyes, warm handshake. He'd learned early that people trust confidence, even when confidence hides doubt. 400 workers, every shift a rhythm, machines and humans moving together. For decades, until Thomas asked a simple question: what if we didn't need them? The consultants spoke in percentages. Labor costs, 47%. Human error, 3.2%. Downtime, 11%. Full automation, they said. The factory runs itself. And the workers? That's not our department. Thomas smiled back. It's mine. The plan was elegant. Transition, that was the word. Not termination, not elimination. Transition. Thomas announced it carefully. 400 people. Standing room only. We're evolving, he said. I'm choosing survival. How many positions? Someone shouted. All of them. Eventually. Not today. Not tomorrow. You have time. He said it like a gift. But time without hope is just a longer sentence. The first machines arrived in summer. Robotic arms that never tired. Sensors that never lied. Elena Vasquez watched them unload. 23 years on the line. She knew every heartbeat. Now she was learning the language of replacement. Elena approached him. Mr. Mercer, will I be here? Thomas checked his watch. I can't make promises, Elena, but the packages are generous. I don't want a package, she said. I want my job. Then I can't help you. Thomas drove away. Elena stood alone. Month 6. 100 workers gone. Transitioned. The machines didn't need breaks. They didn't need health care. They just worked and worked and worked. Productivity up 23%. Costs down 31%. The board was thrilled. Investors noticed. His father called. Heard you're making changes. Improvements. Your grandfather hired those families. Loyalty isn't a business strategy, Dad. No, his father said, but it's a human one. Thomas deleted the voicemail. Silence. Month 12. 200 workers remained. Then 50. Then Marcus Webb. The last one. 41 years. He started at 19. He should have been retired with a celebration. Instead, it was an ending. Thomas found him on the floor. Not working. Just standing. Touching the machine like an old friend. Marcus, why are you here? Because someone should say goodbye. These machines don't know Eddie's wedding or Linda's cancer. They'll never know what they're making or why it mattered. I'll give you efficiency, Mr. Mercer, but they'll never know why it mattered. Marcus left. The factory ran without workers. Perfect, and perfectly alone. Perfection. That's what Thomas saw. Every metric exceeded. The factory hummed. No lunch breaks. No shift changes. No human noise. Just machines. Making parts. For things that other machines would assemble. For people who would never know who made them. Thomas walked the floor. Alone. The malfunction happened at 3 a.m. A sensor failed. Then a relay. Then a cascade. The factory stopped. First time in 14 months. Silence. Complete. Thomas arrived at 4 a.m. Staring at stillness. The technicians were remote. 3 states away. We can fix it remotely, but it'll take 72 hours. I'm losing $400,000 a day. Sorry, sir. That's the trade-off. For not having people on site. When humans ran the line, they'd troubleshoot. Now one failure cascades. The call ended. Thomas stood in the silence. No machines. No workers. Just him. His father called again. Heard you had a shutdown. It's a small town, Thomas. A town your family built. A town you emptied. I evolved the business. Do you know what I see when I drive past the diner? Nothing. It's closed, along with the hardware store, the daycare, the gym. That's not my responsibility. No, but it is your consequence. He didn't mean to drive through town, but he did. Main Street, boarded up. The coffee shop, empty. The pharmacy, closed. He stopped at a red light. Nobody around. No cars. No pedestrians. A ghost town. A piece of paper blew across the intersection. Mercer Manufacturing. Miracle or massacre? His phone buzzed. Technicians. Systems back online. All green. He should have felt relief. He felt nothing. The factory that ran without workers was perfect. But perfection without humanity is just loneliness with better metrics. The truth. Thomas standing outside Elena's house at 8 p.m. He didn't know why he drove there. Elena answered, surprised, guarded. Mr. Mercer. Thomas, please, can I help you? He didn't know what to say, had never not known. I came to ask what I destroyed. Elena studied him. Then she stepped aside. Come in. They sat in her living room. Family photos on the walls. Because my factory runs perfectly, he said, and I've never felt more empty. You didn't just eliminate jobs, Thomas. You eliminated purpose. Why do you think Maria stayed for 30 years? She stayed because she was needed. Because every morning, someone counted on her. We weren't just making parts. We were making meaning. The machines make products. We made relationships. Every lunch break, every birthday, every inside joke. That was the factory too. You couldn't put it on a spreadsheet, so you couldn't see it. But it was real, and now it's gone. Thomas looked at his hands. The hands of a man who'd never worked a line, never belonged to anything he couldn't control. Can it come back? Elena shook her head. The people, maybe. The town, that'll take decades. The trust, that might be gone forever. The board met. Quarterly review. Numbers were pristine. 98.7% uptime. The chairman smiled. Thomas, you've done what 3 generations couldn't. You've made this factory future-proof. Thomas stood, walked to the window. I've made a mistake. I optimized for the wrong variable. We measured efficiency, output, cost. We forgot to measure what the factory meant. To the workers, to the town, to ourselves. Running a factory that makes everything and means nothing. Sentiment doesn't pay dividends, Thomas. Neither does a town that dies. What are you proposing? A hybrid. Humans and machines. Working together. It'll cost more. Margins will drop. The board won't approve. Then I'll buy them out. With everything I have. You'd risk your entire fortune on nostalgia? On correction? On learning that a factory isn't just a building. It's the people inside it. My grandfather knew that. My father knew that. I forgot, but I remember now. Thomas walked toward the door. Final. The factory wasn't what it was. It was something new. Machines and humans. Working together. Together. 67 workers returned. 67 who believed in a second chance. Elena was one of them. Different role now. Quality integration specialist. She taught the machines what they couldn't learn alone. Context, history, the why behind the what. Thomas walked the floor at midnight again. But now there was sound, laughter, conversation, life, genuine smiles exchanged. The town was healing, slowly, starting. The coffee shop reopened. Thomas stopped there every morning now. He knew the barista's name, knew her daughter's soccer team. These were things he'd never known before, things that mattered anyway. Marcus came back once. You figured it out, he said. What a factory actually makes. Parts. Marcus smiled. Purpose. Thomas understood. Finally, a factory isn't walls and machines. It's what happens between people. You can automate production. You can't automate belonging. The factory that ran without workers was perfect, but perfection without humanity is just loneliness with better metrics. Efficiency measures what you make. Purpose measures why you make it. And some things are worth more than what they cost. The factory still runs, just not alone.